In this video, I'll show you exactly how to create a landing page in System.io. System is my favorite all-in-one online business software. It includes a great landing page builder as well as email marketing and a whole bunch of other tools wrapped up in one platform. And the best part is it has a forever free account. So if you don't already have a System.io account, you can sign up for a forever free account using my link in the description. And in this video, I'm going to show you how quick and easy it is to build a landing page from scratch in System.io. I did a video recently where I showed how to modify a landing page, and I worked with this landing page right here. And if you would prefer to get a copy of this landing page as well as the entire funnel associated with it so that you can modify it instead of starting from scratch, I'll put the link to that video in the description, and once you're there, you can see what I did, and you'll be able to access the link that will load this landing page into your System account for free. But remember, if you don't have a System account yet, please do sign up for one using my affiliate link in the description. Also, if you find this tutorial helpful, like the video and subscribe to the channel, and we'll get right into it. Now, anytime that I'm logged into System.io, I should be able to see this top menu up here. If you're ever logged into System and you can't see this menu, it means that you're not in the main dashboard. You might be in the help section, or you might be in a community that you made or something like that. But anytime that you're in the System.io dashboard, you should be able to see this top menu. And if you can't find it, then just go to system.io/dashboard and you should see it, assuming that you're logged in. And this menu makes everything so easy to navigate. And for sales funnels, now I could just click right here to go to my funnels list because I'm already in one of my sales funnels. But to show you the main way of getting there, I just go to sites and then click on sales funnels. And now I have a list of all of my sales funnels. And this one right here is the one that you can copy for free using the link in my other video, which I'll link to in the description. And this is the version that I made. And this is a copied version of it that I worked with in the last video to show how to customize it. And this is also where I'm going to create a new landing page today. So I just need to click on the funnel that I want to access. And you can see there are already a number of pages, but I'm going to ignore those. And I'm going to go down here on the left and say add step. And we'll call this practice LP or practice landing page. And then under type, it's very important to make the right choice because the type of page that you select will impact what you can do on the page. A sales page in System is a page where you can present an offer, but it's not a page where you actually make the sale. Sales pages will only have a link or a buy button that takes you to an order form. An order form is a page where you can actually sell something. It has the payment form on it. So if you want to do a one-page sales funnel where it's a sales page and then at the bottom of the page you have the payment checkout right there, then you're going to want to do an order form and you're just going to build the sales page above the order form. Then we have upsell and downsell. Upsells and downsells are additional products that you can offer after they've purchased the initial product. And usually an upsell is what you offer immediately after they buy the product. So let's say I sell an ebook for $10. I could then offer them an upsell of a course and community for an additional $10 a month, which would be a subscription. That would be the upsell. And then if they didn't purchase the upsell, I could offer them a downsell. And a downsell is typically what you offer after an upsell, and it's a little bit less expensive than the upsell. So I could sell a $10 ebook via the order form page as the initial product, or front-end product, as we like to call it. Then I could offer an upsell of $10 a month for access to my courses and community. And then if they don't buy the upsell, I could offer them a one-time additional $10 payment just for access to my courses, but not to the community. So I'm offering a $10 product, then I'm offering a $10 a month subscription to try and create some recurring income. And then if they don't want that, then I'll offer them an additional $10 product just to try and increase the overall cart value a little bit. And then the last type of page that's listed under sales here is a thank you page. And the thank you page is just the page that they see immediately after making the purchase. You can include bonuses there. You can include instructions on how to access or even the link directly to the product. And then under opt-in, we have lead generation pages. So we have an opt-in page, which is a page that will have either an inline form or a pop-up form that can capture the lead, get their contact information, and then send them to another page. Then we have opt-in thank you pages, which are also called bridge pages. And that's the page that you show someone, and that's the page that you direct someone to after they opt in as a lead, which again is used to thank them and to give them instructions and or bonuses and or immediate access to the thing that they opted in for. So for example, if you're doing a video training, if the lead magnet is an on-demand video training, then you could include the video training in the thank you page. Then we have inline form, pop-up form, and link in bio. And inline form and pop-up forms are just forms that you can add to the pages. And a link in bio page is kind of like a link tree. And then under miscellaneous, we have an info page, which could be like your company's about page or something like that. We have a contact us page, which is self-explanatory. And then they also have webinar pages. And if you're not sure what to go with, I would recommend just going for an opt-in page, especially if you do want to create a lead generation page. And if you don't want an opt-in, and if you don't want lead generation on your landing page, then you might want to go with a link in bio page or a opt-in thank you page. But when most people say a landing page, they mean a lead generation landing page. So that's an opt-in page. We'll go with that. And now I can either choose one of their default templates or start from scratch. And they do have some good templates, but since I showed how to edit a template last time, I'm going to start from scratch with this one. And when I say save, it will actually create this funnel step. So here is our practice landing page. I can click view funnel step and it'll open it in a new tab, but of course there's nothing there right now. So we need to go to edit page. And on the top left over here, you can open the settings. And here you can change the default font for the page, and you can select a variety of different types of fonts. Do what we have in web safe fonts. I'll just go with Arial Black for now. The reason that a font size isn't set is because different types of text, like heading text or body text, subheading text, will have different default sizes. So I don't want them all to be the same size. I'll leave it like that. I'll leave the default line height as it is because I can change that on a case-by-case basis, or I can come back here and change it if I want to. You can set the color of links or set the default text color. You can set the standard alignment, which I'm going to leave on align center. And then we can also set a separate default for heading typography, but I'll leave that as it is. And you can also set the background color or background image here. And then there's the search engine optimization settings, which include the SEO title, the SEO description, keywords, the author's name, and a social media image, which is what shows up on a platform like Facebook or Discord when you share a link to the page. And then you can also very easily select Facebook events for your Facebook or Meta pixel, if you have one, that you want to fire when someone interacts with this page. And you can also add custom header and footer code, such as specific tracking codes. And then in pop-ups, this is where you can add a new pop-up and manage them. And over here in the main left sidebar, we have all of the various types of elements that we can add to the page. And then we also have a number of pre-made blocks. So if I look at the opt-in forms, instead of adding one element at a time, I can add a pre-made block. But I'll show the process of going element by element. The first thing I'm going to do is drag and drop a headline. Then underneath that, I'll add a text module, which will be my subheadline. And then underneath of that, I'm going to add a form. And then underneath of that, I'm going to add an image. Now, obviously, you can include or not include any of the things like a subheadline and an image. You could include a video if you think that that will work better with what you're doing. Personally, I find that the simpler landing pages are extremely effective because unlike a sales page where you often want to have a lot of sales copy and a lot of compelling visuals because you're trying to communicate the value of a product that may be fairly complex. It may take a little bit of explaining to communicate exactly why it's worth buying. But when you're doing lead generation, you want to keep things as simple as possible. And it all boils down to you're offering a lead magnet. And if that lead magnet is something that is worth giving you their contact information, then you're going to get that lead. And in the vast majority of cases, simpler is better with lead magnets. Even if the lead magnet itself contains complex information, what it is needs to be easy to understand. So for example, I could offer a complete digital marketing strategy guide as a lead magnet, but I wouldn't put a detailed breakdown of all the information in the guide on the landing page. I would just put a headline like complete digital marketing strategy guide, and then I would put a subheadline that would be like a little elevator pitch for it, and then it would just be the form. And I like to include images on my landing pages. Sometimes I put them above the form, sometimes I put them below the form. Other times I put them next to each other like this. And of course, on this landing page, I used a pop-up form. And on this one, I'm going to use an inline form. And now that I've got the elements on the page that I need, I just need to click on each of them to modify. So when you click on a text element, it just adds the cursor to it right there. And I can double click to select all. So we'll make the headline access my AI marketing prompts cheat sheet. And for now, I'll use access my AI marketing prompts cheat sheet. These simple copy-paste prompts turn Claude, Gemini, ChatGPT, and other AI tools into powerful collaborators. So I'm using basically the same method as I gave an example of earlier. The headline says exactly what they're getting, and then the subheadline communicates a little bit more about how easy it is to use and how effective it is. It's not just writing copy for you, it's a collaborator. And when I click on a text element, in addition to being able to edit it, I also get a number of options over here on the left. And I want to bring the size of this one up a little bit. And I think I might change it to a normal Arial font instead of Arial Black, because that's just a little bit heavy. And then if I want to and now it looks a little bit light, so I'll try making it just a little bit bigger. And then if I select it again, I can also make it bold, which is a little bit lighter than Arial Black, but a little bit darker than normal text. So I'm liking the way that's looking. And then in the form, when I click on the form, like with the text element, I get a bunch of options over here. And right now we've got first name, last name, email, checkbox, and the submit button. And I'm just going to remove first name and last name as well as the checkbox, because I want to make this as low friction as possible. And by the way, I don't think this landing page builder autosaves, so I'm going to hit save. And when you're working in here, you should definitely do that every once in a while. And another thing that you can save is if you create a specific element that you like say I customize this form a lot and I want to use it on other pages. If you click save, you click this little disk icon, it will save it as a custom block, and then you can just add that block easily to any page that you want. And so now that I've selected the elements that I want in the form, I can go to design. And right now, this is called an inline design, where each part of the element is beneath the previous one. I can also put the form and the button on the same line like this, which in most cases I wouldn't go with this, but it kind of works well when you're just getting the email and then you have the button. And you can change a lot of stuff about the design very easily here, like adding or removing a border, changing the type of border and the width, and adjusting the size and position, padding and margins. In case you're not familiar, padding is space within the element. So when you add padding to the top, it's going to make the element a little bit bigger like that. Whereas margin is space separate from the element. So if I add margin to the top, the element moves down. And you can actually customize a lot of stuff about the fields, such as the typography, the font, Main thing that I want to do is alter the button. So I come back to here and I can just say center. That makes it not a full width button. And I can go to customize. And again, adding padding adds space within the element. So by adding more padding, I'm making the button larger. And then I can change the background color, which is the background color of the button, add a shadow and a number of hover effects. And then I'll move on to the image. And right over here on the left, we'll go to image file. And you can upload a new image here, but I'll just use one that I already have. And I need to reduce the size of that, of course. And I also want to add a little bit of a margin at the top so that it's not quite so close to the form. And there we go. That's looking pretty good. So I'll hit save. And then I can preview it with this button right here. And that's what it looks like so far. And I think I would probably, and I think I'd like this a little bit better if I went back to the inline form. So I'll just click on the form, go to design, put it back to inline, and then come down here to fields again and go to this customize. And if I want to customize the placeholder text, I can click on this, and then I can say something like, your email, or I could even say your business email if I'm specifically looking for B2B leads. And then we'll go back. And very important, of course, is actions. So what do you want to happen when they sign in? So where do you want to redirect when they sign in? This is where you select your bridge page. So you can say no redirection. That would just keep them on the same page. Or you can say to a custom URL or to the next step. I'll just say to the next step for now. And then do you want to enable double opt-ins on the form? This is also very important. If you're using email marketing, I always prefer to use double opt-ins, which is where it sends them an email that they have to click a link in before it actually adds them to your list and sends them your first marketing email. And I really like doing that because it keeps your list cleaner and it makes it so that people can't sign up someone other than themselves for the list, which is how you could end up with a lot of spam complaints. So I'm going to select yes for that, and we'll go to save. And let's try previewing it again now. All right, yeah, see, I'm liking the way that looks. And if I want to check it on mobile, I can just right-click and go to Inspect. And that will open up the browser dev tools. And then right here, this is the device toolbar. So I click on that. This is kind of like a basic look. We've got iPhone XR, iPhone 12 Pro, Samsung Galaxy, iPad Mini, Surface Duo. So it looks good on all of these sizes. So I don't really need to change anything. But if I did find that it wasn't looking good on certain mobile devices, then I just need to go in the top right here, right next to the preview button. There's a mobile view button. And so now it'll show me what it looks like on a mobile device, and I can edit it in there. And another thing to note is that anytime you click on an element in the left menu, if you scroll down to the bottom, you can deselect showing it on desktop or on mobile. So if you want something to only be visible on mobile, you can deselect desktop. There it goes. And if you want it to only be visible on desktop, you can deselect mobile. And then when you look on the mobile preview, it's not there. And there may be some landing pages where you find that they work a lot better on certain screens with or without certain elements. So that can be a really valuable feature. All right, I know that was very basic, but hopefully that showed you the ins and outs of using the landing page builder so that you can create your own landing page from scratch or edit any of the existing templates. Remember, if you'd like to copy a free template of a sales funnel that I made, there's a link to another video in the description that shows exactly how to do that. And that video includes the link where you can load the funnel into your system account automatically. Remember, if you don't have a system account yet, to sign up using the link in the description. That's my affiliate link. I would really appreciate it if you use that, because then if you eventually do upgrade, because you can stay on the free tier of System.io as long as you want. But if you use my affiliate link to sign up, and then one day you do decide to upgrade to a paid plan, then I would get a commission from that. So I'd really appreciate it. Remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Leave me a comment letting me know if you found this helpful and if you have any questions, and I'll talk to you again soon in the next video.